Imagine waking up one day feeling decades younger, bursting with energy, and experiencing a renewed spark in your relationship. What if I told you the secret to reclaiming your vitality and intimacy after 60 isn't in a pill bottle, but in your local grocery store? I'm Dr. Sarah, and with over 20 years of experience as a health educator, I've seen firsthand how we've been told that aging means accepting a slow decline. Today, that myth ends. For years, I've explored the science behind natural vitality, and what I'm about to share could change how you approach your health entirely. Subscribe now, because this research-backed information often gets overlooked in favor of prescriptions. Hidden within 5 common fruits is a natural power so potent, it's helping people in their 70s and beyond rediscover the energy and closeness they thought were lost forever. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly which fruits they are and how their extraordinary abilities can boost blood flow and reignite that spark. The science behind this is fascinating and could make a real, tangible difference. You know, when I first began studying natural approaches to healthy aging over 2 decades ago, I never imagined how powerful the simplest foods could be. What you're about to discover isn't just theory from textbooks, it's what I've witnessed firsthand in my practice, working alongside countless patients and their doctors to support vibrant aging. Let me share Robert's story with you. Robert is a 68-year-old retired teacher who came to my office about 18 months ago. He'd been married to his wife Helen for 42 years, and like many couples their age, they were quietly struggling with changes that seemed to steal the spark from their relationship. Robert described feeling like his energy was trapped in molasses. Everything felt sluggish, from his morning walks to those intimate moments that used to come so naturally. Robert was already working wonderfully with his family physician, managing his blood pressure and cholesterol with prescribed medications. What he wanted was to explore natural approaches that could work alongside his medical care. Together with his doctor's knowledge, we began incorporating specific fruits into his daily routine based on emerging research I'd been following. The transformation wasn't dramatic or sudden. Real health changes rarely are. But within 6 weeks, Robert noticed something remarkable. His afternoon energy slumps were becoming less frequent. Helen mentioned that he seemed more present during their evening conversations. Most importantly, that sense of connection between them was quietly returning. Today, Robert continues both his prescribed medical care and these natural approaches, feeling more like himself than he had in years. Now, Robert's success wasn't coincidence. It was rooted in fascinating scientific research showing how certain compounds in common fruits can support our body's natural circulation processes. Think of your cardiovascular system like a well-maintained plumbing network as we age. These pathways naturally need more support to keep everything flowing smoothly and efficiently. The first fruit that captured my attention in the research is red grapes. When I explain this to patients, I often use the analogy of garden hoses. Imagine your blood vessels as flexible hoses carrying life-giving nutrients throughout your body. Over time, these hoses naturally become less flexible, which is completely normal aging. Red grapes contain a powerful compound called resveratrol that helps support the natural flexibility of these vessel walls. A comprehensive analysis from Newcastle University in England, published in Cardiovascular Drugs and Therapy, examined multiple studies involving people over 45. The researchers found that resveratrol supplementation improved blood vessel function by helping the inner lining of arteries, what we call the endothelium, respond better to the body's natural signals for healthy circulation. Here's what this means for you in practical terms. When your blood vessels can relax and expand more easily, oxygen-rich blood flows more efficiently to your heart, brain, muscles, and yes, those areas important for intimacy. Research shows this can help you feel more energetic because your tissues are receiving better nourishment, and it may support that natural vitality we sometimes feel slipping away. The wonderful thing about red grapes is that this works with your body's own wisdom, not against it. You're simply providing the raw materials your cardiovascular system has always needed to function at its best. Now, I always encourage patients to mention any new dietary approaches to their healthcare team. Most doctors appreciate when you take active interest in supporting your health naturally. If you're currently taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, your doctor can help you enjoy red grapes safely while monitoring any interactions. I'd love to hear about your experience with natural approaches to energy and circulation. Have you found foods that work well alongside your medical care? Share your story in the comments. Your experiences often inspire others in our community. The second fruit that consistently appears in circulation research is cranberries. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 71-year-old former nurse who understood healthcare from both sides. Margaret came to me because urinary tract discomfort was affecting her confidence and, consequently, her relationship with her husband of 40 years. Working with Margaret's urologist, we incorporated unsweetened cranberry juice into her daily routine. The science behind this approach fascinated me. Research from Boston University, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, followed women over 60 for 6 months. Those consuming cranberry juice daily experienced 3,040 fewer urinary tract issues compared to those drinking a placebo. But here's where it gets interesting. For overall vitality, the same compounds in cranberries that support urinary tract health also demonstrate benefits for blood vessel function. These compounds, called proanthocyanidins, act like gentle protectors for the delicate lining of your blood vessels, reducing inflammation and supporting healthy circulation. When your body feels comfortable and free from nagging discomforts, everything else flows more naturally: your energy, your mood, and your openness to physical and emotional connection. Margaret noticed this shift gradually. First, the constant low-level worry about discomfort faded. Then, she found herself feeling more spontaneous and present with her husband. Cranberries are remarkably safe for most people. However, if you have a history of kidney stones, particularly calcium oxalate stones, or if you're taking blood-thinning medications, a quick conversation with your doctor helps ensure cranberries fit perfectly into your health picture. The third fruit that continues to amaze researchers is pomegranate. Charles, a 65-year-old retired mechanic, and his wife Carol had been married for 38 years when they came to see me. Charles put it simply, "Doc, we feel like roommates instead of lovers. Is there anything that can help bring back what we used to have?" Charles was already working with his cardiologist for mild high blood pressure, and his medications were well managed. What Charles and Carol wanted was to explore natural ways to support the energy and connection they remembered from earlier years. We began incorporating pomegranate juice into Charles's morning routine. The research behind this decision came from fascinating studies, including work from Technion Israel Institute of Technology. Their randomized controlled trial showed that daily pomegranate juice consumption significantly reduced markers of oxidative stress, essentially the cellular damage that accumulates over time and affects blood vessel flexibility. Here's how I explain this to patients. Imagine rust forming on metal pipes. Oxidative stress is like that rust process happening in your blood vessels. Pomegranate's powerful antioxidants act like a protective coating, preventing this damage and helping maintain the smooth, flexible pathways your circulation system needs. When blood flows more easily to all areas of your body, including your heart, brain, and intimate areas, you naturally feel more energetic, mentally sharp, and physically responsive. Charles began noticing changes within about 8 weeks. His afternoon fatigue was lifting, and Carol mentioned he seemed more engaged during their evening conversations. The transformation wasn't just physical. When you feel more energetic and confident in your body, emotional intimacy often follows naturally. Charles and Carol began rediscovering small gestures of affection, longer conversations, and yes, physical closeness they thought might be permanently in the past. As with our other fruits, pomegranate is generally very safe consumed as whole fruit or juice. However, if you're taking blood pressure medications or blood thinners, your doctor can help you incorporate pomegranate safely into your routine, potentially even monitoring whether your medications might need adjustment as your circulation improves. What questions would you ask your doctor about adding circulation, supporting foods to your routine? Comment below your questions. Help me create better content that addresses what matters most to our community. The fourth fruit that appears repeatedly in sleep and energy research is cherries, specifically tart cherries. Let me share William's experience. William, a 72-year-old grandfather of 4, came to me exhausted. Not just tired, truly exhausted in a way that was affecting every aspect of his life, including his 45-year marriage to his wife Linda. William's primary care physician had ruled out major sleep disorders and thyroid issues. William's problem was what many people our age experience: lighter, less restorative sleep that leaves you feeling drained rather than refreshed. Poor sleep doesn't just affect energy, it impacts mood, cognitive function, and yes, interest in physical intimacy. Working with William's doctor's knowledge, we added tart cherry juice to his evening routine. The research supporting this approach comes from Northumbria University in England, published in the American Journal of Therapeutics. Their double-blind, placebo-controlled study followed adults over 50 for 2 weeks. The results were remarkable. Participants drinking tart cherry juice twice daily slept an average of 84 minutes longer per night compared to those drinking placebo. Even more impressive, their sleep efficiency, the percentage of time in bed actually spent sleeping improved from 78 to 82. This happens because tart cherries are one of the few food sources of natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. As we age, our bodies produce less melatonin naturally, which explains why many of us struggle with sleep changes that seem to appear from nowhere. But here's the connection to vitality and intimacy that many people don't realize. Quality sleep is when your body produces testosterone, repairs tissues, and balances the hormones essential for energy and physical responsiveness. When William began sleeping more deeply, everything else started improving too. Within a month, William's afternoon energy crashes were less frequent. Linda noticed he was more patient with their grandchildren and more engaged in conversation. And yes, their physical relationship began improving as William felt more rested and energetic. Tart cherries are extremely safe for most people. Unlike sleep medications, they don't cause morning grogginess or dependency. However, as with any significant dietary change, especially if you're managing multiple health conditions, keeping your doctor informed ensures everything works together harmoniously. Now, you might be wondering about the 5th fruit I mentioned in our opening. Papaya deserves special attention for its unique enzyme profile and vitamin content that supports overall vitality, though the research is still developing compared to our first 4 fruits. Here's exactly how to incorporate these circulation-supporting fruits into your daily routine. You don't need to eat all 4 every single day, that would be overwhelming and unnecessary. Instead, think of this as expanding your fruit choices with intention. For red grapes, a small cluster of fresh red grapes with lunch, or a 4-ounce glass of pure red grape juice with breakfast. What you're looking for is consistency, rather than large quantities. For cranberries, pure unsweetened cranberry juice can be quite tart, so many people find success mixing 23 ounces with sparkling water and a touch of fresh lemon. Alternatively, a small handful of dried cranberries without added sugar works beautifully in morning yogurt or oatmeal. For pomegranate, fresh pomegranate seeds are delicious, but 46 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily is more practical for most people. Look for juice without added sugars when possible. For tart cherries, about 8 ounces of tart cherry juice in the evening, roughly 2 hours before bedtime, aligns with the research protocols. You can dilute this with water if the flavor is too intense initially. What to expect? Most people notice subtle energy improvements within 24 weeks. Some feel changes sooner, others take 68 weeks. Both timelines are perfectly normal. Your body is gradually optimizing circulation and sleep patterns, which takes time. The key is patience and consistency. You're not looking for dramatic overnight changes, but rather a gradual return to feeling more like yourself. Many patients describe it as feeling decades younger, not because of dramatic transformation, but because they're supporting their body's natural processes more effectively. With your doctor, I always encourage patients to share their interest in circulation-supporting foods with their healthcare team. Most physicians appreciate patients who take proactive interest in heart health and natural wellness. If you're taking medications for blood pressure, heart conditions, or blood clotting, your doctor might want to monitor you more closely as your circulation improves, which could be excellent news. Here's what I find remarkable about working with patients over the years. Small, consistent changes often create the most sustainable improvements. Robert, Margaret, Charles, and William didn't completely overhaul their lives. They made one simple change, adding specific fruits to routines they already had. The science supporting these approaches continues growing stronger. Research from respected institutions like Newcastle University, Boston University, and Northumbria University consistently shows that certain plant compounds can genuinely support the cardiovascular and sleep systems that are so essential for vitality at any age. But beyond the research, what moves me most are the stories. Couples rediscovering connection they thought was permanently lost. People feeling energetic enough to play with grandchildren again. Individuals sleeping through the night and waking refreshed instead of groggy. These aren't miraculous transformations, they're the natural result of giving your body the support it needs to function as it was designed to, even as we age. When circulation improves, when sleep becomes more restorative, when inflammation decreases, everything else often falls into place more easily. I want to address something important. These fruits support health. They don't cure diseases. If you're dealing with serious cardiovascular conditions, diabetes, or other health challenges, these foods work best as part of a comprehensive approach that includes proper medical care, appropriate exercise, stress management, and other healthy lifestyle choices. What I've shared today represents a collaboration between natural wellness and medical expertise. Your doctor brings knowledge of your unique health picture, your medications, and any conditions requiring careful monitoring. I bring research about how certain foods can support the goals you and your doctor are already working toward together. This partnership approach, combining medical wisdom with natural support, often produces the best outcomes. Your physician can monitor improvements in circulation, sleep quality, and overall vitality while ensuring any medications you need continue working effectively. Some patients find that as their circulation and sleep improve naturally, their doctors can sometimes adjust medications downward. Others continue the same medical regimen while feeling significantly better overall. Both outcomes represent success when you're supporting your body's natural healing processes. Remember, everyone's journey looks different. Your response to these fruits might be faster or slower than others, and that's perfectly normal. The goal isn't to match someone else's timeline, but to support your own body's wisdom in the way that works best for your unique situation. As you consider incorporating these fruits, start slowly. Choose the one that appeals to you most, whether because of taste preference, convenience, or simply intuition. Add it to your routine for a few weeks before considering adding another. This gradual approach helps you notice what's working and ensures changes feel sustainable rather than overwhelming. Pay attention to subtle shifts. Are you waking up feeling more rested? Do you have more energy for activities you enjoy? Are you feeling more patient and engaged in your relationships? Sometimes the most important changes are the quiet ones we notice gradually. If this evidence-based approach resonates with you, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to receive more practical wellness education that honors your relationship with your healthcare provider. Share this information with someone who values both natural wellness and medical expertise together. We're building a community that believes aging can be vibrant, healthy, and full of connection. The fruits we've discussed today, red grapes, cranberries, pomegranate, and tart cherries, represent hope. Hope that vitality doesn't have to decline dramatically with age. Hope that intimacy and connection can be maintained and even rekindled. Hope that simple, natural approaches can work alongside medical care to support the life you want to live. Your body has supported you faithfully for decades. Now, with wisdom, research, and the right natural tools, you can support it in return. The science is encouraging, the approaches are safe and accessible, and the potential for feeling more energetic, connected, and vital is real. This is Dr. Sarah, reminding you that healthy aging isn't about accepting decline, it's about supporting your body's natural wisdom with knowledge, patience, and the simple power of the right foods at the right time.